We together? If there was a man, a character, if you will, that was described in all of the Holy Writ, this man, Job, may be the most misunderstood. I don't know if you've ever considered or rethought this Job situation, but it appears that we always simply give Job credit for going through calamity and then in the end receiving double for all of his trouble. But in fact, Job was much more dynamic than that simple line from A to B. But Job was a man who went through the ups and the downs. Job was a man who went through emotional turmoil and even spiritual turmoil. He argued his case before the Lord. Job was a man who was determined to keep his belief and his trust in the Lord, even though he did not understand what was going on in his life. Job was misunderstood, but there's one thing we can say about Job: he never lost sight of the reality of God. In the midst of all of his trouble, when his friends came around him and accused him of things that he did not do, Job never lost sight of the reality of God. You already know this story, I'm sure, how it is that God allowed Satan to take everything that Job owned, everything that was important to him, including his honor, including his status in the community. When we meet Job in this 17th chapter, he has gone from the richest, most respected man in his community to now sitting outside the city gates, having gone round and round with his wife about his relationship with his God. His body is full of sores. His children are dead. His cattle is gone. His house is crushed. All happening in a small period of time, and Job is confused now. He doesn't understand how could everything go so wrong so quickly. Job doesn't understand how he could be up 1 minute and down 1 minute. And I think I may be on somebody's street right now who has been through that type of situation where you were up and flying high one moment. It didn't even take a whole day. It was just one bit of news, one bad situation, one accident, one wrong turn, and everything seemed to fall apart. And as if that were not bad enough, when you call on the Lord, it seems like he's not even listening to you. That's where we meet Job. Not only is he struggling in his familiar relationships, not only has he lost honor and status, but now his friends are challenging him. Job, you must have done something wrong. Otherwise, God wouldn't have let it go down like this in your life. Get that just because the brother was going through something, his friends thought that he had some secret sin in his life. Let me give you the domain remix of that. They didn't know his business. They couldn't figure out what he was doing, and so they looked at his circumstances and made up some things. They assumed and had nerve enough to spread what they assumed, just because they didn't know his business, just because they couldn't creep and peep into his window and see what he's doing, because they couldn't tap his telephone. They made up some stuff and said, I just believe you got to be gone. You have to have had done something, otherwise this wouldn't have happened to you. I don't know if you've ever been in that kind of a situation when folk didn't know what you were doing, so they just made up some stuff and told anybody that would, I wish I had one person to say, and just told anybody that would ever listen. I would be messy, but I'm going to leave that one alone, Sister Dotson. And so the word is that Job is facing a life and death situation. Yes, the record lets us know that everything has gone wrong. All in a manner of moments, if you will. And Job is sitting there arguing with his friends. And here is the argument. The way they look at it, it seems like the system is not working. Yes, because they believed if you do right, then the Lord will bless you. If you live righteously, if you are circumspect before the Lord, if you treat your brother and sister like you're supposed to treat your brother and sister, then God will continually bless you. Not only did they took it a step further And it wasn't just about general blessings, but in that culture, they believed that God will bless you with land. The more righteous you are, the more land the Lord will give you. Well, Job had land, but God allowed somebody to come in and take his land. But Job was a righteous man. Job looked like he was doing everything right. And so in their minds, the system has collapsed. And I'm wondering if I have anybody who will walk with me for just a little while and admit to yourself that every now and then it looks as if the system is not working for you. Maybe you are the one, and the system told you if you pay your tithes, then you will never have money troubles. But the truth of the matter is, once you start paying your tithes, it seemed as if the devil began to wreak havoc in your finances. Maybe you are the one, and you have discovered that it really looks like good guys finish last. The more kind you are, the more they take your kindness for weakness. Looks like the system is not working for you. It looks like maybe you are the one, and you bought into this notion that if you work hard, if you show up when you're supposed to show up, if you stay and stay longer than everybody else, then you'll be the one to get the promotion. You'll be the one to get the pay raise. But it looks like that joker that's always getting over on the system, the one that's not working as hard as you are, looks like they are the one that keeps getting promoted. Looks like the system is not working. Anybody with me in here? It looks as if the system is not working. And so Job becomes confused, and his confusion leads to complaining. Job now begins to complain. I don't understand how this could happen to me. God must not be on my side. And yet I don't have anybody to stand with me. Job now is complaining, and maybe I need to stick a pin right there and remind somebody, baby, I don't care how bad it gets, your complaining is not going to help you. I knew I was going to be preaching to some smart people in here, so I went back, Reverend James, and studied the etymology of the word complain. And complain literally means to beat the breast. In other words, it means to hit yourself. And so while you're complaining about what's wrong, what you're really doing is beating yourself down. I'm going to say that for you again. While you are complaining about what somebody didn't do and how they let you down, and they ain't much doing that right, all you really doing is beating yourself down. I'm going to say it for you another way. The more you talk about me or your brother or sister, the more you drive yourself down. Don't look now. I think that's the definition of a hater. So now Job is complaining. Look at the brother. He says, I'm in so much sorrow that my footsteps have become dim. I don't know if you've ever found yourself with so much stress and strain on your life that the tension was all the way down to your ankles. And do I have one witness? I mean, life is so jacked up that your ankles are stressed out. And it's hard to put one foot in front of the other. Job said, I can't even hardly walk. Life has become so hard. As if that's not enough, the so-called righteous look at me and spit in my face. In other words, they just cast insults after insults. After, he ain't no good. I knew he was a fake. I knew he was a hypocrite. I knew Job was doing something in that big fancy house. I knew that wasn't all his churn. I knew Job was messing it up. I knew he wasn't praying like he said he was praying. I knew he wasn't giving like he said he was giving. I knew all of that praising the Lord stuff was fake. I knew his heart wasn't pure. I knew Job had a scheme. I knew Job was getting over on the system. I knew Job wasn't all that. I knew Job wasn't all pious and holy like he played like he is. I knew Job didn't have as much money as he said he had. Insult after insult after insult. But in the midst of his complaining, in the midst of the stress, in the midst of the insult, it looks like Job got a revelation. And can I stop right there, baby, and tell you, in the midst of your trials, in the midst of your struggles, when it looks like everything is going wrong, you don't need another friend. You don't need a Hallmark card. You don't need a pat on the back. What you need is revelation. I'm going to say that for you again. Yeah, you don't need another prayer meeting. What you need is for God to give you a revelation. Can I tell you today, you can make it if God will just show you what the end will be. God, give me a revelation. Give me a revelation and show me how to get out of this mess. Give me a revelation and show me who my real friends are and who the haters are. Give me a revelation, Lord, and show me what it's going to take to hold on. Give me a revelation, Lord, and show me that I can make it through this situation. Somebody say revelation.